Have you ever looked at a giant skyscraper and just wondered, how on earth do they build that without making some kind of colossal, expensive mistake? Well, the secret is supposed to be this revolutionary idea called Building Information Modeling, or BIM for short. Today, we're diving into the dream of this digital blueprint and exploring why reality, well, it hasn't quite caught up yet.
The whole idea behind BIM is actually pretty simple, but it's huge. Imagine a digital model of a building that's so detailed it knows everything. Every single brick, every wire, every window. You could click on a virtual window and see its warranty information. You could check the maintenance schedule for the entire heating and cooling system. It's supposed to be a complete, living record of a building before a single shovel ever touches the ground.
So, what is BIM, officially? The definition calls it a smart 3D model-based process. Now, the key word there is process. This isn't just a pretty 3D picture, like something you'd see in a movie. It's a dynamic, data-rich environment where everyone, architects, engineers, construction teams, can all work together on the same page. Think of it less like a photograph and more like a true digital twin of a real-world building.
Right, so let's talk about this digital twin dream. We're not just talking about better 3D models here. We're talking about a complete revolution in how we manage a building for its entire life, from the very first sketch all the way to its eventual demolition. This is the big idea that makes BIM so incredibly powerful.
And this is where it gets really cool. The promises of BIM all build on each other. See, when everyone is working from the same digital blueprint, coordination just gets way, way better. The architect can instantly see if their new wall design is going to clash with the pipes the engineer just laid out. That means fewer mistakes, less wasted material, and less rework on the actual construction site. But the real game changer is that this digital twin is supposed to stick around for the entire life of the building, helping people manage it for decades to come.
And if you need proof of the problem BIM was designed to solve, look no further. This quote from the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST, is just staggering. They found that different systems not being able to talk to each other, what they call inadequate interoperability, cost the industry $15.8 billion a year. That's billion with a B. And get this, 2/3 of that massive cost happens after the building is already finished, during its day-to-day operation.
Okay, so that's the dream. But when you actually look at how BIM is being used out there in the real world, the data tells a very different story. It looks like there's a pretty serious glitch in the digital blueprint.
Which brings us to the central question of this whole explainer. If this technology can save billions of dollars, make our buildings way more efficient, and slash waste, why is the industry still struggling so much to actually use it? What's holding it back?
This chart, wow, this chart tells you pretty much everything you need to know. BIM has these incredible sophisticated powers. It can run complex energy simulations, it can do deep structural analysis, but what's it actually used for most of the time? Basic 3D coordination. 60% of the time, it's just being used to make sure pipes don't run through support beams. It's like buying a supercomputer and only using it to check your email.
And this is the result of using that supercomputer just for email. Remember that mind-blowing $15.8 billion figure from NIST? Well, here it is again. 66%, 2/3 of those massive costs, pile up after the construction crews have packed up and gone home. The dream of having that lifelong digital twin to manage the building just isn't happening, and it's costing a fortune. So, what is the root cause of this huge gap between the promise and the reality? It all boils down to one single, incredibly frustrating word: interoperability. Or, maybe more accurately, the lack of it. Just take a look at this digital battlefield. The BIM world is filled with these amazing, powerful software tools, but they're often made by competing companies. So the architect might be using ArchiCAD, but the structural engineer is using Tekla. It creates this modern-day Tower of Babel, where every program is speaking a slightly different digital language. So you end up with this massive chasm between the dream and the reality. The dream is this seamless, automated flow of information, right? The reality? It's people spending hours and hours manually re-entering data from one system into another. It's wasting time and money just trying to find basic information that should be right there at your fingertips. It's a mess. And don't think for a second this is just one country's problem. Nope. As you can see here, this is a global headache. In the UK, the government is pushing it, but the smaller guys can't keep up. In the US, it's all over the place, and nobody can agree on the return on investment. And in a place like India, the cost to even get started is a huge barrier for smaller companies. Okay, so that all sounds pretty bleak, I know. But here's the good news. People are on it. Researchers and industry leaders are working hard to try and forge this missing link, to finally connect the incredible promise of BIM with how it's actually used every day. And the path forward is actually surprisingly clear. First, you have to standardize things, create a common digital language so all the different software can actually talk to each other. Then, you need to clearly figure out what information building owners actually need, no more, no less. After that, you've got to have quality control to make sure the data is accurate. And finally, you wrap all that up in clear, standardized processes that everyone on a project can actually follow.
So when you boil it all down, the problem isn't really the technology. The tools we need to create this amazing digital blueprint for our world, they're already here. The challenge isn't about invention anymore, it's about cooperation and standardization. The question is no longer if we can build this amazing digital twin, but when we'll all finally agree to speak the same language.